We had high expectations. We thought that we were going to be very strong because we had a freshman in Dick Saylor, and we had big Jack Campbell coming along, and we thought that we would be stronger physically up front, and that would really help us. Well, needless to say, Dick Saylor did not finish the year. He flunked out, and Jack Campbell, of course, came along and very much contributed at the end of that year. So it was a season that started with high expectations. And with Dick Saylor, who was a pretty good player from the Allentown area, and of course with Zeke Callahan was 6'7", was not nearly as good a player. Jack Campbell, of course, was 6'6", and Eddie Folk was 6'5", Bill Noose was 6'6" or 7", John O'Reilly was 6'4", Lou Martine was about 6'3", Dave Samuels and Dave Spiewak were 6'3" and 6'5". Then down in front we had the little guys. They had Eddie Pfeiffer, Dave Maloney, Tommy Wall, and of course Dick Talley sitting in front holding the ball. He always considered himself the captain. I think he elected himself captain, but he was good. They used to pick on him a lot. He was a very good shooter. He had a lot of big games. But the five that really were, after Dick Saylor left, the five that started were Eddie Pfeiffer, Dave Maloney, Dick Talley, John O'Reilly, and Dave Samuels. And Dave, after getting hurt in the tournament, I think in the first game, he was replaced by Jack Campbell, who actually gave us a lot better size because he was big and bulky and strong. It was the 5 or 6, as we had started with Saylor, they were very good. I mean, and the ball handlers, Pfeiffer and Maloney, were terrific, were very good ball handlers. And the thing about the team, they were excellent foul shooters. I think their team average was over 70%, particularly the starters. So if we got the lead, we could hold the ball, and if they fouled us, they'd make all their foul shots. And it really helps when you don't have to sweat the foul shooting like we do now and like we've had recently. But it was an excellent, excellent shooting team, and some of them were very good defensive players, like John O'Reilly, and Eddie Pfeiffer was tough. One of the best point guards we ever had, and he played tough in tough competition. Expectations were high because we had so many people coming back, and the only player that we really lost was Jerry Savage, who was very good, in fact, and with the addition of Dick Saylor at 6'9" or thereabouts, we thought that we'd be in a better position to compete with the teams with a lot of size. But then when we lost them halfway through the year, it really cut back on our chances. At least we thought it did. But we replaced him in the lineup with Dave Samuels, and Dave was a tremendous competitor. He wasn't big, but very springy, very strong, and a sneaky scorer. Like he had some big points in some big games, like up at Albright where we were struggling. He wound up, I think, as leading scorer in that game, but I'm not quite sure of that. But and then when he got hurt, Jack Campbell came in and played great, which was a big lift. He was always very confident, Jack, but Jack was a little bit slower than the rest of them. But he really did a good job. Well, the key was a 4 overtime game up at Albright, where they were hosting the regionals, and we played 4 overtimes, and we only used 5 players. And I never did that before then or after then, but I know that the other game, which Hofstra won, they beat I forget who they beat, but Hofstra, they were just cheering for another overtime. They played first before us, and they won their game. And Butch Van Bredekoff, who was later coach at Princeton, with what's his name, great player in the NBA and politician, Bill Bradley. He coached Bill Bradley, and he he was kind of confident they could beat us, but it turns out, tired as we were, the next night we kind of beat them easily. I forget what the score was, about 15-point game. It was only time we played a game where the opposing coach came over with 3 minutes to play and shook hands. In other words, it was like he conceded. He walked back. I couldn't believe it.